Internationally, although Russia is relatively isolated, it still has several countries with relatively good relations. The so-called Russia's 10 major allies include the 5 Central Asian countries: Armenia, Belarus, Syria, India, and China. Among them, 3 of the 5 Central Asian countries, as well as Belarus and Armenia, are members of the Collective Security Treaty Organization. The CSTO is known as Little NATO and has strong military attributes, so other members of the CSTO have always been regarded as Russia's staunch military allies. However, in this conflict between Russia and Ukraine, none of Russia's major allies sent troops to help. Why is this? First of all, some of these 10 countries are relatively neutral and do not want to participate in the war. The 2 most typical ones are China and India. China has always adopted a non-aligned diplomatic approach. Although China and Russia have a very close military cooperation relationship, the military cooperation relationship between China and Russia is essentially a relationship of cooperation to confront the United States. Therefore, as long as the United States does not participate in the war or does not reach Russia, the possibility of China sending troops to help Russia is almost zero. As for India, it is the founder of the non-aligned movement. The reason why India has good diplomatic relations with Russia is mainly because India relies on Russia in military industry. India's MiG-29 fighters, Su-30 fighters, T-90 tanks, BrahMos missiles, etc. are basically derived from Russian military technology. Moreover, India has also gained a lot of benefits by remaining neutral in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Although Europe no longer purchases Russian oil and natural gas, its demand for energy still exists objectively. Therefore, India acted as a middleman and the oil exported from Russia to India was labeled as Indian oil. Relying on this method, India earns tens of billions of dollars in net profits every year. As for the other 8 countries, some are too weak, some are because their political trends are changing, and many factors prevent them from assisting Russia. For example, Syria is still in the midst of a civil war. Without Russian support, the Syrian government would have fallen. As for the change in political winds, Armenia and Kazakhstan are the most representative. Without allies, Russia can only let the Russian army and the militia of the 4 eastern Ukrainian states deal with this war. Russia has no tendency to further expand the war. Therefore, Russia may then fight a defensive war to defend the 4 states in eastern Ukraine that it has already captured. However, although Russia has no allies militarily, it still has friends economically. To sum up, countries that have the ability to help Russia cannot help it, but countries that are willing to help Russia do not have this ability. Therefore, judging from the current situation of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Russia needs to fight a long-term war without allies.